Thanks for the like. A like already as soon as I start the stream. So it's 4:15 in the morning here in Sweden, and I'm up, obviously up and energized and very alert. And so I figured that because sometimes I woke up a little bit earlier than I usually do now, but now I'm up and running. So I guess it's evening in the on the other side of the Atlantic here. So maybe I'll get some of you North Americans, the Canadians and Americans and the Mexicans and all that to join in. I guess that's South America, but still with the time zones, other side of the Atlantic. So today I wanted to, I want to also just record this video, and it's kind of convenient to do lives. They just end up on the YouTube. But today I want to talk about fear. That is the mind killer, the biggest enemy, the enemy of truth, the enemy of progress, the enemy of you, the biggest part of, or the biggest thing inside you that is not you. So I wanted to start by reading the Litany Against Fear from this book called Dune that I got from my friend Sim van Dale. That it's an amazing book. I haven't gotten that far in it yet, but I love everything so far. But it's a big thing. It says here, even before the book starts, the Litany Against Fear. It goes like this. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. And I think it's so fucking beautiful. It's so true. Like, I want you to search for it and read it for yourself and think about what this all really means. I'll tell you what it means. So I'll go again and talk about my panic attacks that started this whole uncommon sense journey for me. After living a life of fear, I had so much fear, you know, being afraid of being seen for who I am, because, truly expressing myself authentically, because I think people will leave me then. I try to people please, try to act in a way that will keep the people I think I must be with in my life around. I act in that way. I have my extreme stage fright that keeps me from doing stuff like this that I knew I was meant to be, but I had so much fear. I got panic in those kinds of situations. And finally, this along with the nihilism, the hedonism, the just shit lifestyle of drinking too much, partying, trying to get laid, watching porn, drugs, alcohol, all that kind of shit, I finally hit the wall and started having chronic panic attacks. And panic attacks, that is pure fear. That's when something has gone so fucking wrong inside of you that not only, because it's one thing to get a panic attack-like feeling, you know, panic, very high stress response, get very nervous for something, some actual thing happening. When it just happens all over in life, it just means that, you know, you've hit rock bottom. Something is so fucking wrong that you feel afraid of dying just by merely existing, you know. So this is what I finally woke up. And I just see a comment there. I will get to the chat, but I need to go on a monologue for a bit here. So I had to face this fear with the panic attacks, that they made all the things that I was afraid of in life, the panic attacks made any situation feel like that. So, and I knew now that I have two options. Either I'll eventually kill myself from the extreme discomfort from these chronic panic attacks that I have to get every fucking day, or I lock myself inside and kind of get over it as I'm coping by just hiding away from life and just living in my apartment and doing nothing else than that. And I knew I'm going to have to face this. I have to face this. I have to teach myself. I didn't think in terms of nervous system back then, but that's exactly what I had to do. I have to teach my nervous system again that there's nothing dangerous here. It's nothing dangerous, you just think it is. And this is when this quote comes up again. Since people come in, I will read it again. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me, and when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. I see people drop in. Please like the stream. What this means is fear, the purpose of fear that we feel it is to protect us, you know. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, but it is that uncomfortable because when we're faced with death, we're maybe dying or something close to, as they, you know. That's why also social social things are such a big fear for people, being seen for who they are, expressing themselves authentically, going against the norms, because we are group animals, right? To some extent, we have to conform to norms, all of us. But that's why you don't directly die immediately from being freezed out by a group, but you could long term. Not so much in modern society, but think of when we evolved, right? So in our nervous system, the fear response, it's really there to serve us. It's just that in many times with trauma, when certain behaviors that served you in terms of surviving or coping or getting by as you grew up, or after you dealt with some very, very just traumatic life event, getting assaulted, being in some kind of accident, having a loved one tragically die when you were with them, something, so all this, the fear and stuff you feel from that is there to serve you. It's just that when you're not in that circumstance anymore, it doesn't. And the fear is the mind killer. It's the little death that brings total obliteration, right? It keeps us from being who we truly are. And in relationships, when people hurt each other, most of the time they don't mean to. It's just their deepest fear come out from the attachment. What do you say? The attachment style, the way they were brought up. Yeah, and it's of course your romantic partner. It's the one you see. This is how we create life and keep our DNA living. Of course you're afraid of that person leaving you. But the point here is, when I faced all the panic attacks, it felt fucking terrible. It was the most difficult thing I've ever had to do. Please like the stream, guys. I see you're a few here. Not all of you have liked. Yeah, but it was fucking terrible. Nothing seemed to get better. But then gradually, I had to bail out from so many situations where I was supposed to go there, but I got panic. I just couldn't stick around. But eventually I was able to ride it out. Like it says in the quote, I permitted it to pass over me and through me. And then please I see you guys dropping in now. And then when I noticed little by little every time, it was okay. It was okay. It could pass. It could get better. What you're doing is this nervous system, in your nervous system, this fear response that the body does, because it thinks it's a threatening situation, it wants to make you scared so that you get the fuck out of there. But logically, I could know that this is not good. But so every time I manage to face that fear and let it pass through me, I'm now reprogramming my nervous system to say, you know what, this that you thought was dangerous, maybe it isn't all that dangerous. It's just that for us humans, it's unfortunate that the chaos theory is true for us humans too, that it's easier to destroy a person and make them, very traumatic events, even if you think physical or mental, think assaults, think of very intense physical accident, you can heal from all of that, both physically and mentally, spiritually, but it takes much longer than crashing it. So it's a little unfair, or, that's just how it works in life, unfortunately. Yeah, we can't just pop in the CD and install the new Not Afraid software, but we patch it every time we face the fear and manage to face it just a little bit more than we did last time. And so this is what I learned from my whole experience with the panic attacks, that yeah, we're meant to face our fears and discomfort. There are times, but there are times when fear serves us, but there are so many times when it's just old trauma programming in our nervous system that no longer serves us. And that's what keeps us from being us. When we experience the emotion fear is when we are the least ourselves. We are purely animals then, trying to survive. And the more stoic we get, of course, the more our higher self, the actual human being inside of us, can be there and take charge of the situation. That's what I've developed greatly now. That even when I get highly anxious and nervous, I can keep cool. It would take something extreme. Even, when, for instance, it happened a thing when I was on Gotland, like my little nephew fell into the fucking water. My cousin was so unlucky, it wasn't her fault. When she just for 1 second says we should put something up here so he doesn't fall in, that's when he falls in, and he gets this big cut in here, and this is it's not my kid, but almost. It's the closest it can be to being my kid. And, we're all fucking like this. But I remember, even though I get the pulse and I'm afraid for my little fucking nephew's life, I think so clearly, And I just like, what can I do? They are taking care of him. They're washing the wound. They're checking it out. Like, what can I do? Yes, I look. What kind of? It was a weekend. What kind of hospitals or whatever you call it? Not hospitals, but where can we go? What's the closest place? La 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 la. Ah, I can borrow this car. I can drive them there. You know. So this is what you learn by facing fear over and over and over and over. You learn to see what's really you and what's really just a fear, even though it's an uncomfortable feeling. It's kind of like, I don't know, sitting in a cold bath and being like, yeah, this is cold as fuck, but it's not dangerous and it will be good for me afterwards. It's kind of the same thing when you go through the fear. It's like a fucking cold shower. You learn to have better control. You know that the feeling being afraid, the things that the fear prompts you to do is not really you. It's not really you. And then you're able to act more in line with your highest self. And this is what I want you guys to understand. All I do on this channel, I faced so many fears. Like all the fasting, when I got into it, extremely scary. I pushed them to longer, now that they're not scary for me, you know, like doing a 3-day fast, there's nothing I'm afraid of with that. I know I don't lose muscle. I know the worst thing can happen, that I, like midway through, feel a little bad for a few hours, you know, blah, blah. So I pushed it longer. I've done the dry fast. I've done the 1-week fast that I did when I was quite lean, you know. And with the training, you know, like the training in and of itself, when you start, it's scary. You don't like the discomfort. But even, did you see on the live stream, the odd squat stream, when I'm going, I didn't feel afraid enough for my searcher squat that I was going for. So I add weight that I don't know that I will do it, and then I start to get the pulse on the live, you know, and see that just says, yo, Biff, what's up? And Father, Son, Holy Spirit, one God. I will get to your messages. I just need to finish my monologue a bit here, but please keep some messages coming for later in the chat. Please send a super chat if you want to show your support. Would be appreciated. But yeah, I chase the fear now. I chase the fear because I know that all that remains is me after I face it. The more fear I can remove, the more I become just my true self. That's why if you go through my videos on this YouTube channel, you will just see me growing, 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 growing. And I mean in every sense of the word. Like muscle mass wise, sure, but maybe as a man. Do you see the way I just express myself now, the way I am? And I face fear in so many ways, guys. All the different cold baths and stuff, I just decided, you know what, I hate how cold it is today. Let's go down to the lake in the winter and take a bath. I am afraid of doing stuff like that. It might not come across like that, but I do stuff, all the fucking going out on shirtless and stuff. People may think that it's like, oh, he's just jacked and he likes showing off his body. In certain situations, yeah, but I know it's going against the norm, being a fucking weirdo, being all jacked and tan and swinging around the sword, listening to Donkey Kong country music. It's a weird thing to do, and I feel the stigma not as much anymore now, because I face the fear, and it's more me that's remained. More fear is gone, and more just me that remains. And this is what I want you all to understand. You know, apart from fear, the mind killer is comfort too. You know, thinking that, but it's so much easier to just not face it. The thing is, yeah, but it's going to be difficult in the end. You're going to run into some fucking problem from all the fucking comfort you choose. You know, may it be that you get fat, sick, and unhealthy, or like me, that, I mean, I was kind of skinny, fat, and unhealthy too, but mainly the problem here and in here, spiritual trauma just exploding into panic attacks. Like, that's going to happen to you sooner or later if you don't choose the difficult now instead. Choose the fucking difficult now. Face your fears, and all that will remain is you. And now, I'll admit, like, things are going really well in my life. I'm in a high state and all that, but I still have fears to face. Mainly for me, my biggest fear in life, and you know, it's difficult, guys. Some fears, you know, you should be with certain things when you have social anxiety or, you know, whatever your fear is, you know, you should be grateful that all you have to do is fucking go face it, go being amongst people, because there are certain fears that you really can't do anything acutely to face like that. Like, I'll tell you my biggest fear that I think all of ours biggest fear, except the fear of death, that some of us don't even experience because we've never had to be afraid of death, because we live in such fucking comfortable times, you know. But apart from the fear of death, it's the fear of being alone, which is, of course, it would lead to the death. But it's because we're social creatures. And so the fear of being alone leads to many other fears, fear of expressing yourself authentically. If you're among people and you want to speak out about something, but you're afraid to do it because you're afraid you'll get frozen out of the group and all that. And so it takes many different expressions, this root fear that is the fear of being alone. And in my case, the only way I'm really afraid of being alone is, I'm putting in all this work and I'm so happy to do it not for me. Everything I do for me is in the end so that I will be able to give more to everyone else. It's when I talked about that in a stream I did yesterday. What did I call it? How to get everything you want in life. I lose my train of thought, but I'm so happy. Like for me, it's really flown to. It's gone together. Yeah, I see this, that humanity is just an octopus. We're all tentacles of the same being, really. So taking care of me is taking care of others. I take care of me so that I can take care of others. But my one personal wish, the one thing I'd like to achieve for myself, like there are, of course, many things that I would be happy for, but that I truly care about, that is getting my fucking wife and our kids and our beautiful family and being an amazing dad and, I guess doing what I do for other people, but for actually my kids and my wife, And I'm so fucking afraid, you guys, that I won't get that, to be honest. Like that I'm doing all of this. Like I'm not doing this so that, selfishly I will get my thing. I'm just hoping that God will reward me in the end. That's the scary part, though, that I don't know that he will. I don't know that he will. And too many people, when they don't know, they won't have faith. They won't put their faith in God or a higher power or, in the universe, whatever you choose to call it, and then they allow themselves to not follow their dreams, But I won't accept it. I want this. I will have my kingdom. I will have my queen and our little prince and princesses. Yes, but I'm very determined. I think so, but many times, I struggle. When I was thinking about this earlier, before starting the video, kind of what prompted me to go on and make this stream is I almost cried in fear over this. I'm doing great in life, but there's just so much uncertainty around that. It's not my confidence in being able to attract a woman. Just fucking look at me, guys. I know I can attract a woman, but the kind of woman I would want, There's, I've gone through some very special things around that I can't really talk about all of it on my channel. I know I'm an open book and I share everything, but I can't go into every single detail of my personal life. Please like the stream, you guys. But it's my biggest fear, you guys. But I'm facing it by, do you know how I am facing that fear? I can't just go up to something and be like, if you're scared of having a presentation or something, I can't just be like, pull myself together and go and do it and be a little shaky and nervous. What I have to do to face this fear is just fucking go on about my life, doing the right thing, just serving my fellow man, working on improving myself and my business so that I can help even more people and just keep this fucking train moving. That's me facing the fear. For me to not face the fear, it would be just giving up. It's not worth it. I'll just give up on this lifestyle. It's not worth it. I'll just go into this. I'll just leave it. I don't do this. I'll just settle for some fucking woman. That's not the right, a woman instead of the woman, But I'm facing my fear just by fucking living my life and doing the Project TU. It's a lonely path sometimes being me, you guys. I talk a lot to you guys. I do have very beautiful friends in my life and stuff, but a lot of it is just me doing God's work, Like most of the time I spend during my day, I don't feel is for me. I've realized a lot of the time. Many times, when I have 1 hour left to be awake, I'm even thinking, should I go on another live for the guys? I have this topic I'd like to talk about, but I like, Theo, now you got to take some time for yourself. But okay, we've had a little 20-minute rant on fear. I think I'm going to put that out in its standalone video. I cut it out for a bit, but I'll stick around and see you are some guys watching. Can you please, you have liked, most of you, that's good. Can you please talk to me in the chat if you want to? I'll keep it going for a few minutes, but you have to fucking talk in the chat. this annoys me with you guys. You know, you always tune in to watch, but you're little passive actors. You're afraid. Again, you're afraid of expressing yourself. I know you have all these ego excuses in your head as to why. No, no, no. I just like watching. I just blah, 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 blah. But you're really just afraid of being seen. And I see you. You know that I see you. You know that what you're watching right now is just not a random tape of someone performing something. I'm literally talking to you watching. Yes, you. You. Precisely you. Can you talk back to me, please? Like, it's so funny, this, you know. All the people that like to watch me, but like, is that how you go about your life? Is when other people you like, that you find entertaining and interesting and all that, you just kind of sit by the side and watch them, even when you have the chance to interact. I genuinely don't understand. Oh, Sebastian Svartling, good morgon. Another early riser here. Sebastian, can you bring something for me to talk about? I've talked about fear a lot. Do you have any question about fear? The other guys don't want to help out. They've been like up to almost 10 at some points, but they just want to watch. Quiet place. Haha, I don't talk too much. No, I understand, but guys, I'm kind of asking you. I understand when you are not talkative. Like, I would watch streams sometimes too and not feel like interacting at all. But since I'm asking for your help, it's not only for you I'm asking. Like, yeah, if you ask me something, I will literally be able to give you a good answer. But you can also just ask me something, whatever, to prompt me to start talking about something that might be helpful. You know, it's helpful for me because I get something to talk about, but might be helpful for someone else. Give the example, someone asked me about push-ups, what I think about, and I could go on a 5-minute rant about it. And yeah. But I'm going to see here. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, one God said, 3 days into my dry fast, hope all is well with you. Well, it is, all is well. I hope all is well with you too, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And good luck with the dry fast. That's facing fears for most people, definitely. Biff said, yo, guys. Well, yo, Biff, I hope you're sticking around. Please say something more if you are. Sebastian said, god morgon. Goder morgon i denna sal. Quiet Place said something more. I went to boxing gym 3 times, something to face my fear with. Yeah, that's great, man. You know, we should be taking on things that aren't comfortable to us. Like, you know, we do it naturally as children. Have you seen that? How babies and kids, they get hurt all the fucking time because they're not even thinking about the consequences. You could say that they don't know better, but also, you know, they, even when they know there's a risk with stuff, they will do it, and they get hurt all the time because they want to learn. It's by exposing yourself to all these yeah, taking some risks. I'm not saying that, oh, all the kids should take crazy risks, but, you know, they don't. They just, because that's why they just bump their little head into shit and stuff. It's not a big deal. But, you know, that's how we learn and evolve. But especially with this modern world that's so fucking comfortable and convenient with everything, as grown-ups, most people, the only fucking discomfort people can face for some reason, it's due to the brainwashing, I guess, it's just studying a lot bullshit stuff that they find extremely boring, really, and working some boring ass job because they should, you know. Oh, nice, I have my suit, I have my diploma here that says I'm smart, I got this job that sounds nice, and I had the suit. And now, you know, it's the only thing people challenge themselves with, really. You know, when it comes to diet and exercise and general self-development, it stops for most people in their 20s. And they are just kind of pretty much the same. They just get become a more older and degenerated version of themselves as time passes by. We're supposed to keep doing this forever, guys. Like, I am just looking, do you know, like the growth I've experienced these last 4 years, it's like more than in all the 25 prior to that. Because I now know this. And like, trust me, guys, do what I do. Face the fears, like in any fucking way you can think of. I can tell you about the thing, like I've done it on the live streams because I once had some stage fright, you know, some live streams when I'm not quite in the mood. Like now it's not a problem, but I'm facing a little bit of fear, like, okay, people are gonna watch me now. If I mess up something I say, I can't do a do-over, like I record a video, but it's really not a big deal. But then I've been lifting on camera, you know, and I've been going for reps that I'm not sure that I have. In fact, I even failed a front squat on a stream. I do that to face fear. It's literally to face fear. I want to feel uncomfortable with it. And what more is it that I've done? Yeah, well, the recent thing has been sunning the balls, being naked thing, because, I talked about that, if you feel nervous about showing yourself naked, but you want to be caught, that's no good. Then you're a pervert. You have some kind of, I don't know what you call that in English, blottare, we say in Swedish. You get off on exposing yourself to people. And this is more, it's the opposite. You're trying not to expose yourself, but if you're on your balcony, or even if you go out in the forest, I mean, someone could come by, and it's a norm, right? We've been taught that it's dirty. Our naked bodies are dirty. It's so funny. Even everyone who's not conservative and fuck around a lot, like people are still very afraid of being seen naked, and that's, of course, I want to say that about that, like norms, we are civilized. That's the thing with human beings. We have a more savage side and a more civilized side. And so there are circumstances when you should feel ashamed about being naked, because it would be fucking inappropriate and wrong to do that. Oh yeah, a client messaged me, he wants to call in 20-25 minutes. That's perfect. If you guys keep bringing it in the shirt, we can take it all the fucking way. We can take it another 20-25 minutes. But yeah, so just because you're not supposed to be afraid of being naked when you're just in the nature, or on your balcony. I like, because my balcony, it's a kind of good angle. I can hide away from most people. There's like 1 or 2 neighbors that could see me, But if I'm like in my space, I'm not trying to expose myself, and I'm just in my natural state of being. Why should I be afraid of that? And I've gotten so much more comfortable with that. And I want you to understand, with fear, it's not only fear. Think like discomfort, signals that kind of make something difficult to do. You don't feel like doing it. This is what you're going to be looking for, because the more things that are uncomfortable that you do, they're all going to become less uncomfortable. Do you know that I sometimes, I'm struggling to, I'm like, I'm doing too fucking well. Nothing I'm doing is difficult. My hard-ass workout, nope. I enjoyed it too much. The cold shower, no, it was nice. It woke me up. It's like nothing. So, yeah, guys, it makes you so fucking strong. If you wonder why I am the way I am, why I can be talk the way I do, have the attitude I do, care so little about, going against social stigma, norms, sticking out like this. I know I express a lot of controversial opinions on this channel. It's not something I was born with. Like, yeah, I was born with a big mouth and the want to reach out with a message, but the ability that I can actually deliver on it, it's something I've worked towards by facing all this fear and discomfort. Do you understand? It's not something that just happens by a fluke. So can someone please we have the 666, that reminds me of Number of the Beast. Biff, that's what we call being an exhibitionist. Yeah, exhibitionist. Yeah, first I was like, are you calling me that now? But yeah, I said blottare. I get it. No, that's the point. You're not an exhibitionist, but you shouldn't be afraid of being exhibited in a setting that's really not, there's nothing wrong with it, Again, pulling your pants down, like in the middle of the street in the city, that you should feel stigma and feel ashamed about. But like just doing it on your balcony, or hiding away the nature, you shouldn't feel any shame about that. It's a great fear to face. And also sunning your balls, that extra boost to the testosterone and dopamine. It's actually true, guys. It's nothing magical just because it's the balls, but if you're getting sun on 90% of your skin, but not that area, you have room for improvement. So do you understand? It would be the same if you never sunned your feet. You could level up by sunning your feet. That wouldn't be facing a fear, really. It's another topic about the sun. But I saw we had sometimes the chat doesn't pop up even when you write. I don't like that. So okay. We have one question about OMAD. I'll get to that later, because I want to have the fear theme going. Quiet Place. As a kid, I liked it when I get hit. Now I don't like it. You mean actually fighting? I mean, I can like. I would. There are so many things I like to take on, but martial arts, some kind of martial art, I will at some point. Maybe when I move to Greece, maybe I'll take the opportunity when I'm there. Actually, we'll see. But like being hit, that's a little weird. Can you elaborate on that? And can someone please we're still at the Number of the Beast. Yeah, that's a little strange. But a thing like that, it's good. We're men. The reason men today do some kind of really terrible things, and historically too, But it's trauma, but also that we've never gotten the chance to express that savage side of ourselves, because violence, when it's not from evil, it's not necessarily something wrong with that. Like two men could handle like a conflict by just like, what, the words don't go any further here, let's just exchange a few fists. But neither either person, none has the intention to fucking kill the other person. You just kind of sort it out like that, and no matter who wins, you have a new kind of respect for each other. Like, I won't say that I have a lot of experience with this, guys, but a little bit, but it's a way to handle things too. But the evil violence, when you actually like rob someone or assault someone or something like that, that's what we don't want. But that happens more. Do you see? People think that gym guys, like I can tell sometimes when I just go and look kind of focused, on the street and go, I can tell in people's attitude that they kind of expect me to be some kind of douche and aggressive or something. But what they don't understand is that the only aggressive gym bros are, either the ones that are there purely for insecurity, they need to look big or else they feel small, and the guys on gear too, like the kind of gear. It's, roid rage isn't necessarily a thing for all the roids, but for some it really messes with you. Like the trend that I've heard about notoriously make you paranoid and low self-esteem and aggressive at the same time. But us other guys that really just love the lifestyle and living the philosopher, the ancient Greek lifestyle, basically just working on ourselves in every aspect of body, mind and soul. We are the least aggressive guys in that sense, that would just be violent unprovoked or that, because we get so much, we nurture our savage side by doing all this lifting and, because I'm talking violence, it's not necessarily, but all the physical, the physical that we get so little of each day. The physical we get these days is just a fucking pleasure part. Taste in my mouth. Oh, nice feeling in my penis or vagina. When I watch the porn or when I have sex with a stranger from Tinder or the nightclub or whatever. Or the comfort I experience in my body when I don't go to the gym and when I just lie here and eat the shit and watch the TV. No, you need to use your body properly too. Okay, you see the chat doesn't pop up all the time. Carmen Rodriguez. Do you think people instill fear in themselves when they constantly overthink? They can, but the fear never comes from yourself to begin with. That's the thing. The fear always comes from outside of you. That's why I'm going to read the quote from Litany of Fear, the Litany Against Fear again. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. Please like for that. The thing is, of course we have certain fears that are just instinctive for us. But around all these more abstract fears in life, it all comes from the outside. It's all ego. It's mainly from your parents or primary caregivers, and then from other people close to you, and of course just experiences that you have, your environment. Like it could be the people at your job or whatever, So all those things, they come from that, and the overthinking isn't necessarily bad in and of itself. It's just kind of uncomfortable. Allowing yourself to overthink without distracting yourself is actually a way of facing fear. That's what I do a lot. When I feel anxious, that's when I try to meditate the most, because that's when I need it the most. When I want to run away from the feeling by numbing myself, with the old ways, with some kind of fucking pill or alcohol or going out, trying to get laid, all the distractions, then I'm running from my fear. But overthinking this, I'm actually facing it. It's just that what people do with overthinking, sometimes they get stuck in a kind of loop. They don't come anywhere with it, and they don't take any new actions to change anything about it. But what I've learned about overthinking is, I talk a lot about the importance of having experiences. Like, I can tell you a bunch of shit. I can give you some ideas, but it's really all inspiration. It's all theory for you until you go and try it for yourself. And then the more mature and healed and grown you are, the more you can actually learn directly from someone else's experience without needing it for yourself. But what I've come to realize with the overthinking is I'm a big time overthinker, if you can't tell. That's why I can talk so much. That's why the words just keep coming, because I've spent so much fucking time talking that, you know, I have a bunch of shit sorted out there that's just ready to come out. And what you do with overthinking, it's very uncomfortable, but it's like when you're overthinking, say, something in the past or the future, what you're kind of doing is like simulating that scenario over and over and over again and playing it with just slightly different playouts. You're thinking about the past experience, you're actually learning from it. You're thinking, what could I have done? Oh, I wish I had done this. Like that, you think about it as having regrets and stuff, but you're actually optimizing a future run-in with a similar situation. And it's the same with the future. You're anxious about something in the future and you keep thinking, la 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 da 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 da. And the thing is, this all could get in your way, but done in the right way, it's like you've done a simulation. You've prepared yourself as much for the thing that you can without actually doing the thing. Do you understand what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, people overthink sometimes and trigger up the fear like that, and you have to know how to stop that pattern. Like now, me, for instance, take the stage fright, for instance. That was always that thing. When I started feeling it back in the day, I tried to fight it, but you have to allow it to be. It's when you try to fight it, it doesn't work. You have to, like it says here, you have to just stand there. You just have to stand there, let it pass. If you go against it, it goes to become stronger. So with the stage fright, it was always like that. It starts out with just a little slight, because it's natural and even good to get just slight sympathetic nervous system response, because it makes you more alert and focused, you know. But getting too much of it, you now have a pure fear, panic response that it won't serve you at all if you're gonna sing or hold a speech or do something in front of a group like that. And I always sat and like I couldn't. I either try to distract myself, but then I'm trying to distract myself, it doesn't work. And I sit there and yeah, I just make it worse. And then when it's about to do the thing, you know, like this. And what I've been able to do now is, you know, when I do things, like the live streams it's not quite the same either, because I know you guys are watching, but I'm not actually seeing you right here. But when I felt that at times now, what I do instead is like, oh, good, great, an opportunity to grow. And I don't overthink it. I just allow myself to be slightly nervous, and then it doesn't become much worse than that. So I just wanted to make the point about overthinking, how doing that is actually, when it's not right in front of a stage fright, I'm now about to go on stage soon, but you just in general sit and overthink. It's a way of facing fears, to just allowing that to play out in your head. But yes, in certain situations, people just, by trying to fight this, they end up overthinking in the wrong way, if you see what I'm saying. Sebastian Swartling, I've never been ashamed of being seen naked for some reason, especially not in my own space and not trying to be seen. Yeah, me too, man. But when you are not in your complete own space, like, you know, it is yours, but you maybe don't view it in a sense because, my balcony, you know, like I am out to be seen. It's one thing if I'm walking around in my apartment, right? But if I'm out to the balcony, you know, you get, it's this, no, I don't want to stick out. Oh, they won't think I'm weird, la 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 la. But I felt the same way too for a long time, that, you know, peeing outside, even if you're doing it by a bush or something, you know, so you're not, you know, you're not disgusting peeing on, you know, like a place that I'm standing here by a door or something. You know, it really shouldn't be. Like, what's wrong with that, really? But I've always thought more, I don't care if someone sees my dick, you know. Maybe it's because it's not super small either, I don't know. I had to get that in there. I don't care about that at all, by the way. I really don't care about that. But the point is that it's more for other people. Like, I wouldn't want to feel like I'm, you know, that exhibitionist that we're talking mentioned earlier, right? Quiet place. Like, I wasn't care about getting hit as a kid. Had no fear from that. Yes, you're right. No, but you're just a reckless little kid, you know, without that's one thing. Okay, someone said, "Hey, mate." Aidan Mitchell, "Hey, mate, what do you do when you get angry to calm yourself?" The thing is, I barely get angry anymore. And it's what I talked about earlier on the stream. You can go back. But I barely get angry anymore. It's a lot because I've just healed myself uh, in many different ways. This whole process that I've gone through for these last 4 years. There's also when you get when you get a lot of love from within, that I do, and you take care of your savage side by doing all this training and fasting and cold exposure, all the physically savage shit. You just are. I don't get angry. Do you understand? I can think someone is doing something wrong and I have to put them in their place, kind of. I get like harsh, and I'll tell them and have this attitude, but I'm not actually emotionally angry. Do you understand? So first of all, you got to realize that being angry is the least productive feeling ever. It's born out of feeling like you don't have any control. So when you feel kind of humiliated or something by someone and you feel like there's fucking nothing you can do about it, that's what you resort to, just feeling angry. It's like you feel like it's a weapon, the hate. I just, and when you realize how fucking unproductive that is, that if you allow yourself to get angry with someone provoking you like that, you feeling this way is doing fucking nothing against this person. In fact, you give them a lot of power over you by allowing them to affect you in that way. And so it's not to say, I know you can't just choose, I'm not angry, I choose to not be angry. You can't really do it like that. But gradually, you have to catch yourself. This is the thing too. It's not facing fear again, but it's the awareness. I should do a stream or a video more about awareness too. Observe yourself, remind yourself, and then it's okay if you can't get over the anger in that. But that's like a workout, and that's great progress to even spot, to even know, like, this is really not productive. Should really just let go of this, but I can't right now. That's progress, So it's very few people that can actually make me angry. It's only the people closest to me these days now, because that's the closer someone is to you, like your family, girlfriend, boyfriend, or wife, whatever, and close friends. Those are the people usually, the closer people are to you, the more sensitive you just are to everything. So it's just a few people there that can make me angry. And I guess, most of the time, I'm pretty still, I'm good at not letting it out completely and being all mad. And I try to admit when I'm mad, though, because when it's a coping mechanism that I've taken on. I'm copying my dad's behavior, actually. I can shut down when I'm mad. That I just want to, I want the person to fucking understand. I'm just like sitting there seething, and I guess I just allow myself to feel that way because, fighting it is, again, fighting fear, fighting emotions, even the uncomfortable ones. It's never, you just make them stronger when you try. This must go away. This must go away, But if you can think about it, I would like this to go away, but I'm allowing myself to feel this right now. There's a reason I feel this way. Let's just observe. Let's just feel. The funny thing is, it feels like you're but I want it to go away. I'm going more into it then, but no, actually, that's what you actually process it in that way when you allow yourself to just feel it. And then gradually, little by little, you'll experience less and less anger. If you've seen my interactions with trolls, I know to some people that don't quite can grasp what I'm talking about now, it could come off as me getting triggered and provoked and I wanna argue with them, but it's the opposite. I always don't take the bait, and I actually try to coach the person. And it's just that, it's in my nature to, when the little fly comes buzzing, I would like to teach it how to fly away so I don't have to squash it. But you know what it is when it comes like bzz, you gotta do it like that, and it's actually for its own good. I mean, the fly, it's a metaphor. It would obviously die, and in a way, I see it. I kill the person, I kill their ego, give them the chance to give birth to a new one that's less of a pussy and has to argue and know best on the internet with me. There was this one guy recently that said I was ego lifting with my club, and I should know this because I'm so jacked. And it's like, maybe I know this, I know I'm doing the right thing because I'm jacked, not that I should, And when I talk like that, you can think, oh, he's triggered, he's mad now. It's the opposite. I just see this little fucking loser as just like most people are, that I used to be too. They are so great at knowing best and having the, smart opinions trademark on the internet. They think they know better than someone that actually does the thing, So I'm not angry there at all. I could, back in the day, I could get very triggered and get into, someone is wrong on the internet, I need to prove them wrong. But I just I like it, putting this guy in the place, and I know I'm actually helping him by doing that at that point. So yeah, let's see. Biff, got me some coconut. Yeah, I'll take the couple last fasting things here now before, because then I'm gonna go call my client. Got me some coconut water and orange juice today, lol. Biff says, haven't had OJ in a long time. How it tastes, lol. Can't taste any worse than snake juice, I guess. Sansora, Sansora. Can you guys, I'll remind you here at the end, I'll be on here for another 5 minutes. Can you please send a super chat to show me your support if you like anything I had to say on this stream? I'm really trying to make this YouTube channel my main occupation, not the means only to get clients. That's currently my main occupation. I will always want to have clients, but here I can coach all of you at the same time. So I would just love it if this was a bigger income stream for me. I can prioritize it more. So please, I will do that. Oh, Sebastian, dags att ut och löpa lite. Ha en fin dag. Ja, men ha en fin dag du också, man. But yeah, so I'll say that. I would very much appreciate any amount that you could send me through a super chat. And I'm very appreciative of those of you that brought stuff for me to talk about in the chat so we could make this a little longer stream. Yeah, sun soda can't taste any worse than snake juice, I guess. I mean, bro, what are you talking about? It tastes fucking amazing. And I'd say about the sun soda, for big fatties with sugar addiction, those are the people that shouldn't use it. And it's kind of a personal preference. That's what I try to get. Some want to argue so much, you know. But I see I got a super chat. I'm going to look at it after I finish this point. Some want to argue about it so much, like, no, you have to be in ketosis, or no, it will trigger hunger hormones, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it's individual. I have great arguments as to why I think it's a good idea. I proved my hypothesis to myself with my most recent fast that I did, and I got responses from a lot of people. They're like, yeah, this was a game changer for me. Man, thank you so much for this. And that's great, of course, that's awesome. But some people also said, you know, I do better with the salts. I get too triggered. I have one client, for instance, that he doesn't want to do it at all. It's not that he has to, right? So, you know, try it, but it tastes amazing, bro. It tastes amazing. Let's see. Sebastian sent me 20 crowns before going. Tack, man. Jag uppskattar det som fan. This is the thing, guys. No one, if all of you could do what Sebastian did, everything would be set. Everything would be set. And this is what I'm inviting. I'm fucking inviting you to be an active part in this channel. If you're just a little quiet viewer, you're just using me. You're just using me, and that's fine, you know. Yeah. It's like, is that really how you want to go about? Like, are you just looking to other people, like, what can I use this person for? What can I get out of them? Or do you want to bring something to them too? We can mutually uplift each other here. I don't have to be the ATM for you to just take out what you want. You can actually give something back too, and it's going to come back to you. It's Theo's nature. Theo always gives more back than he was given in the first place. That's my promise to you. Not my name, thanks. Could you do a 30-second overview on Sun Soda? I have a bunch of videos, so go watch that, but sure. It's 50-50 coconut water and orange juice. The coconut water for the electrolytes there, and the orange juice just to get a bit of more carbs, but it's still kind of a, you know, moderate calorie drink, you could say. But so there's a lot of potassium and the carbohydrates that will help with rehydration more. That's the problem with the snake juice when you only have the salts. You add sodium, by the way, either in it or on the side. I like to bomb it, put the sodium in my mouth and chug it down with a sun soda. But yeah, the idea here is just that it will give you some more energy. It can help your metabolism stay faster. And it will rehydrate you better. The problem with the snake juice is the salts, they will help, but more temporarily, because they won't stick to you as well when they don't enter your system with food, or especially carbohydrates. So I started experimenting with this on my intermittent fasting, you know, that I drink some of this before I consider my intermittent fasting window open for the day. So I start drinking this an hour before my workout or so. I drink it around my workout, and then after I break it with my food. And then I wanted to see, how is this on a long fast? And I tried it this weekend, and it was great. So you can go back and watch all my videos when I go more into depth what I think about it and all that. But I also had a daily vlog from each day of the fast when I, you know, just show you what I do and talk about it too. So, Biff, Sun Soda. So what is bringing you to Greece, if you don't mind me asking? He says, with $5. It's nothing more than I am fucking done here. I built my kingdom here. I've known for years that I'm gonna move, and I've become the solar knight, right? I mean, I've used the sun, maximized the sun for a long time in the summers, but now I realized it's who I am. You know, I am the solar knight. I take on other solar knight apprentices. I am just a fucking jacked and tan blonde Giga Chad walking around and uplifting everyone around me on this earth. But the thing is, I've uplifted here. I'll have my base here in Sweden. I'm not permanently I'm gone from Sweden forever. Greece is also just the first try. I think I have a lot of reasons to suspect I'll be happy there. There's a reason I picked it stood between Greece and Spain, you know. But so basically what I'm doing, I built my kingdom here. A lot of my family and people I know have moved to this neighborhood that I love, that I've been living in my whole life, you know. And I'll have my base, I'll have my apartment here. I'll come back in the summer. I'll do the opposite to what the Swedes usually do, where they go away in the summer. For some reason, when Sweden is the best, they go away. I'll come back here in the summers and spend time for 3 months or so with all the people I know here. But then what I'll do in Greece, it's just that it's more, I think it's more in the way, you know, it's not too far away. So I wouldn't want to go to Thailand, something completely different like that. But it's different in the ways that I like, with basically the climate, more sea, more sun, more warmth, bigger part of the year. And I also think the people are a bit more open-minded. So basically, I'm just going there to do the same fucking thing I'm doing here. I'm just taking it to the next level, you know. That's all. Yeah. So thank you for the super chat again. Thanks for the question. This is the thing, guys. You can ask me about the fear, the topic of the stream. You can ask me about fasting, fitness stuff. You can ask me something about me. And I mean, I'll tell you 99% of me. I say there's some things you can't go on, like with your personal relationships with people and all that. You can't go into every single detail all the time. But then, you know, I'll just say that or leave that part out. I can talk. I'm very much an open book about everything I want to, even the things I don't talk about. It's more of a strategic choice or consideration for other people. I'd really love it if, like, this is my fucking diary. I can tell you literally whatever. Can we get up to over $10? Can someone save me with a like $5 super chat or more? Of course, I'd really appreciate that. But yeah. Biff says, excellent. I hope it's a positive change for you, man. Well, thanks, man. I'm sure it will be. But it's just the first try. I might go somewhere else, but it's like, I know I'm done here. Not my name, thanks. That sounds damn delicious about the sun soda. Yeah, man, it is. Rooney86, greetings from the Faroe Islands. I don't even know what the sun is. Where is that? I know what it is, you know, but I'm not sure where it's located. You never see the sun there, or what? It's raining all the time, or something like that. Yeah. No, guys, I have one last I'm going to scroll up to about OMAD, but then, you know, I'm going to end it. My client is kind of waiting for me now. It's just because you brought some more here that I started talking to you. I'd be very happy if I could get one last super chat before that, but it's up to you guys. So what is your opinion on OMAD, specifically with health and longevity, not so much muscle building? Father, Son, Holy Spirit, one God. I mean, I think some kind of intermittent fasting is probably, you know, it's really what the fasting and OMAD, what really makes it more like the longevity perspective. It's more like the calorie restriction part, because it's a funny thing. I think you can find a kind of a balance. When you live a lifestyle like mine, I think you kind of address both longevity, health, and performance, you know, like muscle and all that. So it's really that it mimics the because that's one way of how do you say, approaching longevity is just to restrict calories, because it's like, you know, your body's metabolism will drop, but it can, if you do this in a healthy way, you know, it can just make it so you're kind of, it's like putting yourself in the freezer in a sense, you know, you're just containing everything for longer. So the OMAD, it's really not so much because you just eat once per day. It's really because for a lot of people, it ends up being a natural calorie restriction like that. I mean, long term, I'm not personally a big fan of OMAD. I think it's a little too extreme of an intermittent fasting window. I prefer something like eating at least twice per day. Because I think the OMAD is going to be too much of a stress on the body. Actually, if you eat for 1 hour per day and fast, like you know, I enjoy from the 16:8, like the little slightly stressed state I'm in now in the morning from not having eaten yet and stuff since dinner yesterday. I like that, but when it goes too far, I don't even think it's that healthy for you. And just slamming a bunch of food, you know, snacking all day, I don't think is good. But the opposite, just slamming everything in one go, just doesn't seem all that appropriate to me either. So. And you didn't ask specific about building muscle, but I'll say you can build muscle on the OMAD. It's just more difficult and not optimal, but you can do it. Just look at Simland. His OMAD is, of course, a very, it's not, yeah, it's kind of funny to call it OMAD even. But okay, last thing here from Biff. Färöarna belongs to Denmark. Yeah, but I know it belongs to Denmark, but I don't know where it's located. Do you understand? I'm pretty sure it's not very close to Denmark, right? I remember I had FIFA 98 to Nintendo 64, and when I wanted, you know, just tried to win, I let the bot be the Faroe Islands. It was the worst national team in the game. Plus Biff. Plus waiting all day to eat and having food on your mind and then shoveling in 2,000 at once. Not a fan myself. 2 meals a day feels great. Exactly. It's a response to the OMAD thing. I completely agree with you, man. But yeah, we'll end the stream here. I'm going to call my client. I would have liked to see the final little super chat drop in, but I'm also not ungrateful for the two of you that did contribute. So again, if everyone fucking did what you did, we'd be all set, guys. Have people working for me, editing my videos. I had a fucking studio to do more serious videos. Everything would be better. And it would be higher quality and quantity. You can make it happen, guys. Please support me on my Patreon with $1 per month, by the way. The link is in the description. It's again, you can support me with more, of course, I'd appreciate that. But if all of you subscribing to the channel did $1 per month, it's basically nothing. You wouldn't even notice it. I would notice it big time. This is the beautiful thing, guys. When we cooperate, people can, if enough people give, they can give so little that they barely notice it, but it's enough for one person to be uplifted to newer heights. So please, guys, I'm gonna be on your ass a lot on this. I'm gonna fucking make this happen, guys. 10,000 subscribers before the year is over, but I need your help. I'm saying this cockily, but I can't do this on my own. I can't subscribe to my channel on my own. I need your help with all the comments, likes, and financial support. Please comment the stream when I end it. Okay, guys, thank you for this time. I will see you later. Peace. Fear is the mind killer.